Do you all remember the first time you caught an Uber? It was the most unbelievable experience you ever had. You thought angels were going to come down with the car and pick you up because it was unbelievable. Some stranger arrived, picked you up, dropped you off, you felt safe, you never had to touch money. The first time we experienced technology, we are so enlivened by it. The fourth time you called Uber and it didn't work, you're like, this piece of shit app, what is wrong with this thing? It doesn't even work anymore. This is what happens to us as human beings. We think that we just get used to them very quickly. So this zero marginal cost society is coming for every sector around the world. Every sector will move into the space of creating something digitally, demonetizing it, dematerializing it, and taking that whole sector and disrupting it. Let me give you some examples. Oh, I haven't told you. Today I'm giving you a $10,000 voucher to go and spend it at any CD shop that you want around the world. On me, I'm giving everybody one voucher. You didn't get that joke? Nobody's got CD shops anymore. Anybody got a CD player here? There's no more CD shops. They're gone. Why? Because we have Spotify. And so what Spotify does, it does something called curate, match, and facilitate. And it's able to give us music for almost nothing. And we don't even listen to musicians anymore. Now we listen to genres of music being suggested to us without us even having to choose any of it. So music, gone through the zero marginal cost society. You remember when you used to go and print 24 photos and you could only use 3 of them because you were fat and had red eyes and all the other ones? Those days are also gone. Today, all of us are supermodels, like I mentioned. 3, do you remember when we used to go to the cinemas or go and rent DVDs? Today, we have so much entertainment thrown at us. Every lounge has got 3 screens, TV, iPad, phone, and we're not even watching anything anymore. And so we realize that Netflix knows this is happening, and Netflix is now starting to build something called Netflix houses all around the world, just like Disneylands, because Disney is making more money than the digital entertainment, and Netflix knows this, and Netflix is already jumping and starting to build Netflix houses all around the world, because human experience will become even more expensive as AI starts to move in. And fourth, do you remember when communication cost us so much money? And today you can speak to anybody around the world for 24 hours a day. You won't even think about it because you're on a Wi-Fi hotspot or in WhatsApp, and it costs absolutely nothing. Let me ask you a quick question. Could you think any of these would become free before they became free? No? Anybody? You know why? Because you cannot solve a problem from the same awareness that created it. Our awareness was stuck in the Industrial Revolution, and now we're coming with new rules, new ideas, and we are just bamboozled by the fact that these have become free. And we are so happy and so entertained for the first 1 week, and then we think it's normal. It's always been like this. Well, it hasn't always been like this. And so let's ask you this. I'm going to show you 4 more, and you know what you're going to say to me? No way those are becoming free. No way. I enjoyed John's talk until he started talking real rubbish when he told us those things were going to become free. There's no way that can happen. But this is because you cannot solve a problem from the same awareness that created it. And so the next one that's moving towards free, which is so obvious, is transportation. Today, if you catch an Uber for $10, 8 of those dollars goes to the driver, oil, engine parts, and petrol. Take all 4 of those out, $2. Share that car with 3 people, 50 cents. And that's only from our current understanding of what transportation is. Next, what's moving towards free is power generation. We are moving towards a space where we have solar, wind, fusion, nuclear, hydrogen, and so many new ways for us to start to create power. And if you think this is far away, remember deceptive. It's all bubbling, it's all bubbling. It's going to pop up at any time at this moment. Next, what's moving towards free is computing power. And we can see this because every time a transistor is launched, it's got 22 billion new transistors. I mean, I don't even know how they fit these things on there, but it's getting better and better, cheaper and cheaper, faster and faster all the time. And here's one that's going to affect all of us in this room. Services are moving towards zero. And this is all going to start happening this year and next year. And services is kind of the business that we are all in. Algorithmic intelligence of logical ways of thinking and solving problems at a pace is what services is about. And as we start to see the advent of LAMs start to come into the world, because right now we are all loving LLMs, but soon we'll start to love LAMs, which is really about action models, and these action models will start to give us an opportunity to give instructions to AI to start to solve for us. And we saw the beginnings of this with a Rabbit R1, which is a rubbish sort of product, but it's only the first one. Remember that always the first one's always rubbish. The first 1 or 2 are kind of rubbish, and eventually it starts to become amazing. And by the end of this year, what's going to happen is Siri is going to have OpenAI's ChatGPT 4 O put into it, which means that you'll be able to say to Siri, this year, iOS 18, will say, Siri, I want you to find me an Italian restaurant close to me that offers gluten-free pasta and book me a table for 3 of us at 7:30. And you're able to say, I need an Uber picking us up. There's 6 of us, and it will figure out that you need an Uber XL to pick you up and take you. And this is called the beginning of the intimacy economy. And the intimacy economy is when we become intimately involved with our AI assistants. And this starts to replace services one by one, slowly but surely. So we really have to ask ourselves this big question, what does it mean to be an evolved human being? Because if we don't evolve ourselves, we'll hold on to old stories, old ideas, and old identities while the world is changing at a pace.